Hi, good evening, guys. Uh, Let me start. Thank you all for taking out the time and coming to attend the webinar. The main aim of this webinar is to introduce you the new system what PayTabs has introduced called PT2. And as most of you must have already got an email from PayTabs about migrating to the new system, which is PayTabs 2 system. And some of you are already using it, and some of you are in the process of migration as well. So today I'm here to explain you how does the dashboard of PT2 system work, how to navigate your overall transactions, how to create links, how to create reports, how does the transaction panel work, and what are some kind of benefits what you as a merchants have from PT1 to PT2 using PT2. The new system actually supports a lot of automation and new features which were not available in existing PT1 system. And we have put a lot of efforts with different stakeholders, different feedback from the merchants, to invest the time in creating the new system, which will be beneficial for merchants in the long run. Like whenever there's a new payment option available in the market, what we're trying to do is we're trying to add it up into the system so that it won't be a kind of hassle for a merchant to upgrade to the new payment option available. So in this webinar, I'm going to cover, if I go to next slide. Can I have the next slide? Yeah, in this webinar, what I'm going to cover is creating and activating an account with PayTabs 2 system. I'm going to navigate the dashboard, what we have. I'm going to generate invoice. I'm going to create a pay page. I'm going to create a pay link, which is something new feature what we have. And I'm going to show how the transaction panel works. I'm going to show you how the refund works and how the reports are generated, which were not available in the earlier PayTabs system. And then we will have a question session as well. And if you have questions in between, you can just put a message on the chat and we will try to respond back to you as soon as possible. So let me now share you the screen and show the new dashboard and the new system. So the link for the new, can you guys, okay, I'm sharing my screen. So the link for the new PayTabs system is different from the old one. So the old one was at paytabs.com. The new system link is on merchants.paytabs.com with a register option. So almost all of you have got email from PayTabs that you need to register the new account. This is the registration part, which is very simple with the country, with the company name, with the name of the person, with the email ID, with the phone number, and with the position. And once I click on register, the account is created. Since I've already created the account, it is showing it's already registered. So once you do this, you don't even put the password. What happens is you will automatically get an email from PayTabs, which will be an automated email where you, with a link which will be valid for 24 hours, you need to go open that link and put your password and set a password there. Once you set a password, you can go and log into your dashboard. So dashboard is a little different from the PayTabs one, where you will have, we are still enhancing this dashboard. So this is just initial stages of the system, but we are still working on some features on the dashboard. We will enhance some more features on the dashboard. So this is something where you have an onboarding process. Then after registration, the merchant needs to do an onboarding. So there's a self onboarding available in PT2 like PT1. The only difference between the both of them is the self-onboarding process in PT2 is much more simpler than PT1. So I'll just go through a fast onboarding 5 stages. So the first stage is the company details, where you need to put the company name, the trading name, the address, the city, region, everything. And then you go to the second stage, which is the trading details. Trading details mean what is the business activity, what is your website, what are the products, what is the trading currency, what is the estimated sales you're expecting, and the average ticket size, and some mandatory field that you will not be trading with any UN sanctioned countries. So you have to select yes or no. And the next option is then the bank account. So automatically a bank account option will come where you need to enter your bank details, which is a company bank related. So usually when it comes to the online payments, merchant accounts, we always take company related accounts. We do not take a personal account. It's always company corporate accounts. So you enter the company account. If you have a multiple banks, let's suppose you have a multiple currencies, you have a USD and AED. In earlier PayTabs PT1, you used to create 2 different accounts. You used to create one account for AED, one account for USD. But in this new system, you will just create one account and you will have both currencies, AED as well USD. So once you enter the details with the account name, with the SWIFT code, with the IBAN account name, it undergoes review. And if you want to add more, you can add more options here. Now, let's go to the next option. Now, this is something which is important here, which is the ownership details. So this is something important, like where you enter who is basically the signing authority of the company. Usually what happens is if there are multiple signing authorities of the company, you can enter 2 names. If there are only single signing authority, this helps us in once the agreement is signed, we don't need to go over the documents again and again. We know that the owner of the company is XYZ person and he is authorized to sign for the company. So unless and until you don't add the signatory as yes, you don't select signatory as yes, it won't allow to go to you to the next stage. It will keep on staying on the same stage as well. What will happen is it will always be on the same stage. And if once you select yes, it allows you to go to the next stage. And the final stage is the document upload. So here is where you upload the documents. You upload your article of association, you upload your memorandum of incorporation, you upload your trade license. So the process of uploading is even also simple. If I have already uploaded the document, I'll just show you how to upload one of the document again. So bank statement you have to upload, the passport. So let me go here. This is how the upload is done. Just choose a file. Let's suppose I uploaded file. I put a passport number. Let's suppose I put passport number. I put an issuer of the passport. I put the issuing date. I put the expiry date. I just say update, or I just say submit. Submit successfully. So you submit all the documents here, which is certificate of authorized signatory, shareholder registration certificate, because there are some companies like free zones where there is a shareholder registration certificate available. If you don't have a shareholder registration certificate available, you can upload there again the MOA as well. Then you have a trade name certificate, which is again a trade license. And then you have owners, you provide passport, Emirates ID, visa, passport, Emirates ID, visa. So it will give you an option. Let's suppose if you select 3 owners, it will give you 3 options. It will automatically create 3 fields where you have to upload all these documents. So once you have all these documents uploaded, you click on next. Once I click on next, what will happen is it will confirm all the documents are uploaded. And if I go back to home screen, it will show me that your documents are submitted for application review. Then it comes to the PayTabs, and your account manager or the team who's handling your account, who is in touch with you, will come back to you, and they will say that, if these documents are missing, some documents are not correct, there is something missing on the website, because one of the requirement of payment gateway is you need to have a website, running website with terms and conditions, as per the schemes, as per the acquiring banks, as per the issuing banks requirements. So if all the such requirements are fulfilled, it's smooth. Then it goes to the next stage where we get to work with the banks for the onboarding and all. So once it's done, you will get an automated email that the account has been live. So once an account is live, I will show you how it is. So currently it's a test account. So once an account is live, you will see a live account like this. You will see a live written there. It will be two accounts. So you will have a live as well as a test account. So again, what was not in the PT1, what was in the PayTabs version 1 was, even if you have a test account, you need to have two accounts, two different accounts. But again, in PT2, what we have tried to simplify is we are just keeping one account. Even if it's your developer who is trying to integrate the website, you just need one account and you can give an access to him and create a user. I will show you how to create a user as well and give an access to him as a developer. He does not need to go and create a separate account to test the account. He can use the same account and test it with the same account. That's something what is an additional feature in PT to what we have added. So same thing, the transactions today. So if you want to see, let's go through a dashboard. So transaction today means how many transactions I have done. If I want to see at the end of the day how many transactions I have done, I can just click on view details. It will automatically take me to the transactions, how many I have done today, just today. If I go to, let's suppose I want to see how many I have done in a month, sales today, it will show me how many I have done transactions here, the volume here. This will show me the volume whole month. So let's suppose I want to see the volume of the month. It will show me exactly the whole volume month, and I can export them into XLS, CSV. This is something which is an additional feature which was not in PT1, where you need to go and filter the details. And this is my last payout, and I can click on view and I can see what was my last payout. I can click on the last payout, what is pending. I am, seeing what are the last payouts here as well. This is something called home page, and these are the latest transaction what you see. Some transaction you can see it here, that these are the latest 15 transaction. I can view them. See, the beauty of this system again is, if you see the transactions, if I open a transaction, let's suppose I open this transaction, I can see the amount, I can see the authorization code as well, which was not available in PT1. I can see the card ID, I can see the payment, MasterCard, I can see even the card was issued from Bahrain, it was a Credimax card. So, the RRN number I can see as well. I can see even the customer details, that who has done the transaction. I can see the shipping details, and I can see the notes if there are some notes. And I have an option to refund here only. So I can click on refund. It will take me, I've put the amount and I can submit it. So this is something different from the PT1, where you had to go to a separate, kind of a tab to create a refund. So it is something which we have done on a transaction level only to do a refund. All the transactions which are approved, you can do a refund immediately on opening the transaction. This is something which we have added the feature. Now the profile means, if you have 2-3 profiles, it will show all the profiles here. Let's suppose I have multiple profiles. Let's suppose I have 1 profile, 2 profile. Let's suppose I have 3 currencies with PayTabs. I have AED, I have USD, I have Euro, I have GBP, I have SAR. In earlier system, you need to create all 3 different accounts, 4 different accounts for these currencies. But now with the new system, you just have 1 account. That's it, the 1 account, master account, and we can add different profiles to it with different currencies, with different AED, with SAR, and you can switch between the profiles. You can switch between, let's suppose I want to switch between this profile. This is my different profile. I want to switch between this profile, which is my AED profile. Or I want to have a group profile. Group means where I can see all the transactions, which will show me all the group transaction, which is AED, SAR, all the transaction what I have processed in the system, irrespective of which profile it is, it will show me on a group profile. Again, the team user creation is much simpler. What we have done is we have removed creating, adding all those ticks. If you have seen, there were a lot of check boxes in the PT1. We have tried to simplify it. What we are trying to do is we just put a small add button here, add a team user with the email ID, save. And then just give a name to the user, give his position, let's suppose CS, give him a role. Is a owner, is a developer, is a customer support, is a manager. So if you give him a developer, so that means you can create a developer account and you can he will automatically get an email from PayTabs. He logs in with his email. He does not need to create new account with PayTabs to test PayTabs APIs. And if I have an option as well where I can give him a profile. Let's suppose I have 6 profiles. I want to give him, let's suppose, one profile only, AED profile only. I will just choose AED profile out of all. Or I want to give him only maybe Saudi currency profile access. I can just select Saudi currency profile access. Or I want to give him a group profile access. I can give him a group profile access as well. Then which options I will give him? I will give him a live option where he can do the transaction. I will give him capture. I can give him new sales. Do you want to give him refund? It's up to you. If you want to give him a refund, you can give him a refund. If you don't want to give him a refund, you can remove the refund. Invoice creation, and I submit it. Once I submit it, what will happen is an email will automatically go to the customer, and see, you can see that the user has been already creating the the user has already created the account here. So that's how it is. He will automatically get an email and where he can log in and he can put the password and use the system. Now let's go to the next, which is the account, transaction. Transactions is where you will see all your transactions. So I have an option here where I can search. So I can search by cart ID, I can search by email ID, I can search by status, if it's authorized, declined, error, with the time range, with the date range, and I can search them and I can export them into an Excel. Same, it's basically the short form where I was here. I can go. It's the same thing, but what the difference between the transactions here is that it is limited, maybe 15 transactions, but here it's all transactions. You can see all the transactions are there. It's from the start when you have started the system till today. Accounts is something where, let's suppose if you have processed transactions, let's suppose you have processed 100,000 transaction, 100,000 dirham transaction. This is where it shows your bank account where your funds will go. This will show your pending, how much is pending with PayTabs. Let's suppose you have a whole period of 7 days and today is the 3rd day. It will always show in pending, and this will show always the last payout, how much we have paid you. And it's a kind of a hyperlink again. If you click on a hyperlink, it will show you a mini statement. These transactions belong to which this amount what we have settled you belong to which amount. Pending also, if I click on pending, it will show you the pending entries, which means what is pending from the PayTabs side, which transactions are pending, which are to be settled to you in your account. This is something in the account side. Developer side is again, it's same APIs what we have. We have transaction APIs, we have Magento plugin, we have OpenCart plugin, we have PrestaShop plugin, Shopify plugin, WooCommerce plugin. What the new feature what we have added here is a pay page setting. So the pay page setting is basically you can change the pay page where a customer can pay. You can change the look of the page. So like this. What I can do is I can change the logo, I can change even the background color, I can change let's suppose I want to change the color of the button as well, and I can see how it looks like. See, I can change the color, I change the color of button as well, how it is. I can even change the background color of the page as well. So if I go back and I change the page background, let's suppose I put the page background as red, and I say preview, see it changed the red. So this is something which we have included new, which in the system where you can exactly do the same coloring as your website for the pay page, for the pay page, the payment page. Invoice is something which is again a pay page. It was called pay page in the PT1 system. Here we call it as invoice. So there are two options again here. You have a bulk uploading. The template is already there. If you have bulk upload invoices, you want to do an Excel upload, you have a bulk upload invoicing, and then you have a single invoice. So single invoice, again, you put an invoice type as a standard or template. So standard is a one-time used invoice, while template is something which is you create a template one time, but you have multiple people. Let's suppose you're selling an iPhone, and you have to sell this iPhone to 50 people. So what you can do is you can create a template one time, which is an iPhone, and then you can create 50 invoices. You don't need to create 50 invoices again and again. You just need to enter 50 times email ID. So that's the difference between template and standard. So let's create one standard invoice. Title, let's suppose it's iPhone payment. I'll just create one quick invoice. Description, again, it's iPhone. If you have a customer reference, you can put, if you have an invoice reference, you can put in earlier PT1, again, you had only one reference field, but now we have added 2 reference fields. And what we have added is an activation date. So there are a lot of invoices where you need to put activation date. So you're saying that you're saying sometimes insurance, or sometimes you have to pay some, let's suppose I'm paying for some examination, something, you have you kind of a time limit for it. So you can put an activation date, and you can put then, and even the expiry date, I want it to be expired tomorrow. I don't want customer to pay after this, so I can put iPhone, let's suppose I put iPhone, I put just a second, unit price is 10, one quantity. And now the text, I can put it here either these 2 fields, I can put it as a percentage. If I put 5%, it will automatically calculate 5%. If I put as a number 5, it will automatically calculate as a 5 number. So it's up to you, what you want to put. You want to put 5% or you want to put 5. So if I put 5%, let's suppose I put 5%, that's it. So it will automatically change to 5%. And you can put a customer details here. Let's suppose I put a customer details here. The shipping can be hide, no need for the shipping. And I have 2 options now here. So I have 2 options here. What is, I can save the invoice and send it later, or I can save and send at the same time. If I say save and send at the same time, what will happen is an invoice has been created and sent to the email, which is directly gone to the email, and it has been saved also here. So if I want to, let's suppose, customer changed the mind. He's saying that I want now iPhone cover as well. So what I do is I go to the invoice. I just edit the invoice here. I just say that, I add here second option, which is iPhone cover. Let's suppose cover and put 5 dirhams, one quantity. That's it, save. So what will happen is now the invoice has been created, the new invoice. If you see, it's now updated invoice. So customer, if he opens that email, he will still see the new invoice. Or if you want, you can copy the link. So this again is a new feature in PT2. You can copy the link. So what it will do is it will copy the link, and it will open you can copy this link and send on a WhatsApp. You can send on a WhatsApp, you can send on your email. From your email ID. Sometimes your customer merchant is saying that I want customer to send an email from my side instead of going from PayTabs. So what you can do is you can just save an invoice, copy the link from here. It will copy the link and send this link on an email. You have an option to send it by an SMS as well. You put the phone number, it goes through SMS. You have an option to delete it if you want to delete it. If you want to duplicate it, you can have options. So all of the options are available here. And who has created, let's suppose you have multiple users, you can see who has created this link. If this is paid, you can see what paid. You can see it refers to transaction as well. So this link was paid by this transaction. So this is something new feature in PT2. What we have PayTabs system 2 is you can link the invoice which was paid with a transaction, because let's suppose this customer has paid. You don't know which customer transaction it is. I can just open the transaction. It will take me to the transaction. This is something which we have added in PT2. And then you have a normal search options here. The new thing what we have added in PT2 system is a pay link, which was not in PT1 system. So these are the dynamic links. So there are sometimes merchants who want to create a link which they don't want to expire. So let's suppose I'm running a campaign for a donation of I'm doing a donation for building a mosque, or I'm doing a donation for building a well. And I want to create a link which I will paste somewhere, or I have a QR code which I will post somewhere, and people go and pay, or they define the amount as well. So I have both options. I define the amount, or I allow people to pay and define the amount. I will just put a bracket that minimum amount is this, maximum amount is this. You decide the amount and you pay. So it's simple, and I have an option. I can even share this link with the social media. I will show you how to create a pay link. You go to the pay link, you put, let's suppose, donation for a well, 1234, cart ID, donation for digging a well, currency is AED. I have an amount here, so it's a fixed amount. Let's say I say 100, or I have a donation mode available. Donation mode is you put a minimum amount and you put a maximum amount. So now what will happen once a customer will pay, he gets an option to put amount between 10 to 100. Or if I put a fixed amount, he will pay 100. And I can enable, and there is something which is we have new is an open graph. So I can put an open graph, donation for well, let's suppose donation. And what I do is I choose an kind of an image for it, and then I say save. What happens is a link has been created successfully. This is the QR code. If you scan this QR code, it will directly take you to the link. You can copy the link here and you can send it to SMS, you can send it to emails, or you can send multiple SMSs, you can send SMS here, you can start sending people, or you can download a QR which you can paste somewhere, or you can upload it to the Facebook. It will directly upload to the Facebook with your account, which is linked. See, I just uploaded it to the Facebook. It will say donation for a digging well. It will show the photograph, and I can post it directly. I can tag my friend and I can post it my story to my Facebook. Let's post my, it's a company Facebook account. I can post it and people will come and they will click on the link. They will automatically, pay on this link. They will automatically pay on this link. So let me suppose show you how it's the same link, how it will show. This is it shows enter the amount, and it will show you the amount must be between 10 and 100. So that means the customer is paying between 10 and I can pay 50, I can pay 70, I can pay 80. It's up to me as a customer. And this link will not expire unless and until you go edit the link, update the link, and just say, disable the link and say save. That's it. Once I say save, now the link is disabled. If a customer tries to pay on this link, he will not be able to pay. So this is something what we have added new in this system. One more thing is reports. Earlier in the PT1 system, the reports were, there were no reports. So the customer has to export the reports from the Excel file. In PT2 system, what we have done is we have added up a new report system, which is a push report. So in PT1 system, it was a pull report where you need to pull the reports from the system. But in PT2, what we have done is we have kept kind of a work on the reports, and it's a push report. So you have an option as a merchant to decide, do you want a daily report? Do you want a weekly report? Do you want a monthly report? And you even decide your fields, what you want in the report. So you decide a layout. So I can create my own layout, which all fields I need. Maybe I need this field, I need this field, I need this field. I keep on adding them. I keep on adding the fields which I need. Let's suppose I need these field, I need this field. I am an operation guy, I need this field. And I put a name of a report. I say it's a daily report, or I say it's a finance report. I say it's a finance report. So I can create different reports, say add. Now what I can do is I can go to my settings and I can enable this report. I can enable this report, finance report, on daily basis. I can enable it on weekly basis. When do you want it? You want every Monday, you want every Tuesday, you want every Wednesday, or you want monthly basis? Which report? So let's suppose you create 5-6 report. Finance is different report, transaction team is different report, your customer service team is having different reports. It's up to you. You can put even the password for the report. If you want to put a password, you can put a password for a report, and you can put a report email here why you want the report to be sent. You can have multiple reports for multiple users as well. So let's suppose if I have 3 profiles, I have AD profile, I have USD profile, I have SAR profile. I can go individually on each profile and I can create a report for each profile. I can go on a group level, which is a group level. I can create even a group profile report as well. It's a group profile report as well here. So I can see a group profile report, which shows here that I can have the group profile reports as well. So this is the report section. So that's all for the system. These are all features what we have done, and we are still adding more features. Like we are adding Apple Pay, we are adding Samsung Pay. So there are more features which we are adding on daily basis as well. And once they are added, we will keep you updated on those features as well. So if now we can have questions. If you have questions, we can have questions now.
Hello.
Hello, hi.
Hey, Mansoor. Hi. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay. Mansoor, so this is VP here from UV Consultants, and we've been using this for quite some time now. So we will be starting using this new version PT2 soon. Now, what happens? How is the transition from PT1 to PT2 in terms of we've still got some amounts there, we're still using that. So how does the
Okay.
final closure happen?
So usually what we have decided is we will not close the PT1 immediately. You will still have an access to PT1. So the data which is in the PT1 will remain in PT1 because we can't migrate the data from PT1 to PT2, but we will not close the PT2 in the PT1 access. You will have still have PT1 access for the transaction reference, but you will be only able to use PT2 system for processing the new transactions. And the team is already working on your transition between PT1 to PT2. So there are team members who have been already allotted merchants who are working on migrating from PT1 to PT2. So the first step, of course, is you must have already received an email from PayTabs for the same. So I think it's just about how we do that process fast. We move the faster on that process.
Um, Now, just to clarify, so PT1 will stay there. So in case we want to check out any data, past data, we need
Exactly.
to log into the old PT1 and
Exactly.
check there.
Exactly.
Okay, okay. And what about the cutoff for the pending dues that is there? I mean, the amount which is
See,
already lying there.
what we have done is actually is the amount will be transferred. So the amount will be transferred. The only issue here is maybe you have some refunds from the old system. So that's why we are asking merchants to keep some funds in the old system so that if you have a refund, we can do a refund from that system because those transactions will not be on a new system. So probably that's where if you, what we are doing is we're calculating how many refunds do you have usually. If the refunds are more, we're trying to then see how we can, kind of put a limit in PT1 and say that, you can keep 200, 500 dirhams in PT1. And whenever you have a refund, it will automatically debit from the old system, not from the new system.
Okay. But in our case, we don't do refunds from PayTab. So normally when there is a cancellation that happens later on, we
Mhm.
actually refund them outside PayTab. So we remit the payment to them to their account from the company.
Okay. Okay.
That's how we do
So
it.
it depends on merchant to merchant,
Yeah.
UV. Thank
Okay.
you.
Hi, always.
Hi.
Hi, this is Sultana from V Perfumes.
Hi, Sultana. How are you?
I'm good. I'm good. Always, actually, our accounts has a concern. Like for the reports, they need consolidated reports, like in a bank statement format, like
Hmm.
all the order IDs and Uh,
It is. So if you see my
but
report, when I created a report, you
yeah,
have an option to add all the fields to the report. Unlike in PT1, there was not an option, but in PT2, there is an option. So you can customize your report and add whatever fields you want. So it's up to you, whatever fields you want. This is
like
available.
we can add credit, debit, like your charges. We can
Everything will
add
be
it
there.
in the
Everything
form
will
of
be there. Everything will be there. Yes.
everything. We can add it
Yes, exactly.
because it's difficult to reconcile at the moment.
Yeah, so even the settlement report which you will receive from PayTabs from the new system will have the charges as well. How much is the actual transaction? How much is the PayTab charges? How much is going into your account as well?
Okay, okay. So we can actually we can create according to our things, right?
Exactly. You can create according to your usage, what account,
Requirements.
what kind of report you want.
You can just brief if you can just show it if you don't mind. How-
It's in the actually I just showed it. It's in the file which is shared by PT2 team because it's just you add a layout. That's it. You add a
Okay,
layout which all transaction you need, and then you create a
okay,
report and then add it to the report. You can
okay,
you,
okay,
you know you can play with the test account, so you can create different reports on the test account. So you don't need to create new account.
okay, okay. And how long it will take for this PT2 to get activated? Because we have already submitted everything, and they said by end of month only it can happen.
Sure, so the team is working on it. Definitely, they will come back to you on that, and if it's in the pipeline, they will definitely contact back to you for migration.
And for Apple Pay and all, we can activate only once the bank account is created, right?
Exactly. Once, no, you can create an app. We can activate Apple and Samsung Pay. Once the account is live, then you can request for Apple and Samsung Pay from
Our
the
account is live, so we can request for Apple Pay.
Exactly. You can
Okay.
request for Apple Pay.
Okay. Okay. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you.
1 second. Excuse me 1 second. Huh?
Always,
Yeah.
it's Heather from V Perfumes.
Hi,
Okay,
Heather.
yeah. Before in PayTab 1, we were passing the order ID in PayTabs. So in this new system, how we will get the order IDs according to order ID? How we'll check the transactions?
So in transaction, if you see open a transaction, you will see here a cart ID. And
Okay.
cart ID is basically your transaction ID, which you are passing in the API.
No. Okay.
Okay. Perfect. Next question.
Thank you.
Yeah, hi. Always, this is VP here again from UV Consultants. So you
Yeah.
also, you showed us how to do customization of the invoice template by going to the developers and then
Yeah.
putting our logo and all those things.
Exactly.
But so when I come back to my invoicing invoice page and I click new invoice, so this template which shows invoice type, there is standard and template. So that template is the one which will show my customized invoice.
No. It's the payment page. It will show the payment page which goes to the customer. Here, that is the kind of customization. It's not the invoice standard or template. This is basically a pay page customization, which a customer will receive an invoice. That customization is this.
Okay, so that is seen only in that preview page. That's
Exactly.
Okay. And also another thing is this invoice customer reference is something which we decide and we put, right?
Exactly.
And invoice reference is something which comes automatically from the system.
No, you have to put it. We are giving two options this time to the customer to put.
So earlier there used to be an auto invoice number generated.
It will still generate. If you go to the invoice, it is still there. So if I go to the invoice, there is still an invoice number. So if I go to the invoice, there's still an invoice number which is created. See, here is the invoice number. 1134. Yeah, it's automatically created.
Okay, that is different from these two.
Exactly. This is the invoice ID. Yes, exactly.
And in case I don't have a customer, I don't put anything here. Customer.
You can leave it blank. It's not mandatory.
Okay. And now the last question is this SKU. So as SKU is stock keeping unit, right? So is it for the product code there, or is it just
one number? You can just put 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That's it. It's a serial number basically.
It's a serial number. It's not exactly a product code or something.
No.
Oh, okay. Thanks.
Thank you.
Yeah. Hi again from V Perfumes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I need to know about our account is already live, and all the integration part is already done and tested. So it is necessary to wait for the bank approvals to get the Apple Pay certificate.
Yeah, because we have to. What we have to do is we have to activate Apple Pay from the bank as well. So it's not only activation from your side. So it has to be. You can send an email to our customers care at paytabs.com. They will update you on that.
Already done, but how much time it takes to approval and everything?
It depends on the bank. Usually around 2 to 3 working days for the Apple Pay activation from the bank. So we'll then. Yeah.
Okay.
Any more questions? So there are some questions which are like, can I review the invoice in print and save it? Yes, you can review the invoice, print and save it as well. It's again from the invoice here. I can see the invoice which I have paid. I can review them. I can pay them as well. So it's again from the invoice where I can do it. And if in case of authorization and capture, then you need to enable authorization and capture. So these are all purchase. If you need to enable auth and capture, so you need to ask customer care, you need to send us an email to enable auth and capture option. then once a transaction is done, here you will get an auth capture. So let me take you to the live email. So live transaction. Once it's a live transaction, if it's currently it's a sale, if it's an authorized, it will only show authorized. And then you have an option here called auth capture. You have a refund as well as capture as well. So you can click here and capture the transaction if you give an access to the customer. And if you want to, let's suppose you want to see an invoice, I can go here and I can, duplicate it. I can view it. I can view the invoice as well here, and I can print it as well. Any more questions? I think that's it, guys. Thank you. Thanks a lot for attending the webinar. Let me check. Chat. Maybe we have some questions in the chat. Okay, user manual. So again, the withdrawals are automatic. So withdrawals will be done as per automatically on every Tuesday as per agreed terms and conditions. So automatic withdrawal API will run, and you will see the withdrawal has been processed. Once the withdrawal has been processed, you will see that it will show a last payout here with a hyperlink, which will show the amount which has been withdrawn to your is already transferred to your account. It is in PT2, yes, it is seamless. So Shopify and everything is much more simpler. You can directly go to the Shopify, and it shows you the steps as well how to do it. Click Shopify store, put profile ID, put the client key. Similarly with Magento and PrestaShop, everything, it shows all the steps what you need to follow. If any questions, you can just raise the hand and ask. We have a user manual which customer care team will be sharing with you, which gives more information about creating the user's profile, viewing the transactions.
This is VP here again.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you had mentioned in the comment section that if you are on PSP, you won't see the option to withdraw.
Yeah.
So what is that?
So if you are directly with the bank, if bank is settling you directly, then you won't see a withdrawal option, account option at all, because your funds are directly settled by the bank, not by us. So that's what we meant by PSP. PSP is a direct relationship with the bank. If we are settling funds to you, definitely you will see the account option here.
In our case, it is normally you're sending the money to our account.
Exactly. You are not a PSP, yes.
Okay, fine. Thanks.
Perfect, guys. Thank you. Thanks a lot for your time. And I hope that we are all well and we come out of this pandemic situation soon. And if you have questions, you can just email us at customer care. And thank you. Thanks a lot.